All right. Welcome back to the healing. Fresh off of getting kicked out of the strangers group, Shadow blaming us and saying that we're the psycho Dr. Crow, which we know we're not unless we're talking to ourselves right now because Dr. Crow is, in fact, typing to us and writing to us as we speak. Shadow's going crazy. I don't know what's going on with Shadow. I don't know what's going on. He thinks, or she thinks, whoever Shadow is, thinks that we're the psycho that's behind all this. And we're not. We're not Dr. Crow. If anything, we're J.K. Knight, but we're not Dr. Crow. But let's see what Dr. Crow has to say. Sacrifices had to be made. Disobedience causes suffering. Now he knows his place. What are you talking about? Sacrifices had to be made. Disobedience causes suffering. Now he knows his place. Who knows whose place? The hell are you talking about? Disobedience? Did you hurt anyone? What the hell are you talking about, Dr. Crow? I love the new backdrop, by the way. If you guys haven't seen yet, I do have a short on how to get the new backdrop, the new background for the healing here. Oh, he sent us a JPEG for a hack for 80 bits instantly. All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll hack that in the next video, as always. Nah, just kidding. We're going to hack that right now. Let's go ahead and hack for 80 bits instantly. There we go. Is that Charlie? What happened to Charlie? No way. Charlie's missing an eye and a finger? And he's got a big old gouge on top of his head? What the hell happened to Charlie? Oh, J.K. Knight's not going to like that. J.K. Knight is not going to like the fact that Charlie is hurt. And Charlie, as we've come to find out, Charlie is his own person. Well, he's not his own person. He's J.K. Knight person, but he's a completely separate identity of J.K. Knight. Charlie is not going to be happy. I can't believe he did that to Charlie. What the hell, Dr. Crow? Is this a doll? I couldn't care less. Is that Charlie? It is Charlie. I know that's Charlie. I can't believe you did that to my best friend, Dr. Crow. Our best friend's been injured. Yes, this may be meaningless to you. It's not. He's my best friend. But not to him. JK changed his mind about you. What? Me and JK were friends. We're friends. Oh no. JK. Oh, I'll make time for you. You know what I find particularly fascinating about dolls? Their joints. They are significantly more flexible than those of humans. But don't worry. When I'm done with your joints, you'll be able to move freely too. So is JK saying that he's gonna turn us into a doll? Is that what JK's trying to say? He's gonna turn us into a doll? When I'm done with you, your joints will be able to move freely too. Or maybe he's just thinking of beating the crap out of I think JK's pissed at us. I don't have time for that for you right now, freak. Oh, don't call me freak. What do you want now? Say nothing. I don't like either one of these. It's like one of the only times I want to say nothing, but I'm not one to say nothing. I have to say something. So what do you want now? And I don't have time for you right now. Oh, I don't want to call him a freak, but I kind of want to call him a freak. And I know he's not going to like it. He's not going to like it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Oh, it worsened. You don't have time? You can't imagine what pain he's just had to endure. Charlie, I've never heard him scream like that before. It made my blood run cold. And at the same time, it boiled with rage. Never will I let something like that happen to him again. Your failure led to this. I had to help you far too often. Oh, you will soon feel this kind of pain too. Dr. Crow now allowed me to do what I want with you. He says that if you managed to stop me, he was wrong about you. But Charlie learned something from his torture. He explained it to me in detail. Do you want to know what? To be honest, no. I do want to know. I have completely different worries at the moment. Okay, then tell me. Okay, JK, tell me then. I heard he mentioned what I find fascinating about dolls. Their joints are capable of the most ludicrous contortions. However, this is not only due to their physical features, it is because they have no will of their own. They surrendered completely to fate, to their puppeteer. They understood that free will is nothing more than an illusion. In this respect, there's much ahead of us humans. You and your little wannabe detective group. You really think you can stop Dr. Crow? You think your efforts can make a difference? But you can't. You will not stop me, nor the master. You have become like this doll. She surrendered to her fate, even welcomed it. Gotta see this video.
You're just going around in circles. You're suffering from vertigo. You should surrender to your fate.
That's a creepy doll. That's the newest creepy doll on the list. She surrendered to her fate, even welcomed it. And he's saying that I'm suffering from vertigo? Or the doll is suffering from vertigo. I'm going to listen to it one more time.
You're just going around in circles. You're suffering from vertigo. You should surrender to your fate.
So he's saying that we're going around in circles as a detective group. He is what he called it. We're just going around in circles. We're not getting any closer to figuring out who Dr. Crow is and J.K. Knight. So we're just going around in circles and we're suffering from vertigo because we're dizzy now, right? And he's saying that we should just succumb to our fate, which maybe is becoming a doll or just going through Dr. Crow's healing. I don't know. Either way, I don't want to do it. I definitely don't. Maybe you're right. No, you're wrong. Shut up, will you? Will you stop? Or we will stop you. Maybe you're right. Maybe we are going. I mean, it kind of sounds like we're going in circles. I mean, Shadow is accusing us as being Dr. Crow. So that is far from going in the right direction of finding out who Dr. Crow truly is. So maybe JK has a little bit of insight here. Maybe he knows something. Maybe JK is right. Maybe we should just succumb to our fate. Maybe it'll be easier. It'd just be easier just to go through the healing. rather than go through this mental torment, this fear, this everlasting anxiety of when is it going to be our turn? When are we going to receive our doll? How is our healing process going to affect us? What tortures are we going to be put in by Dr. Crow? Maybe we should just succumb to the fate. We should just do what he wants us to do. Maybe our torture won't be as bad. Maybe JK and I should just shut up. Just shut up, will you? I'm done trying to be friends with you, JK. I tried, and now and you're a jerk, and I don't want to be friends anymore. Charlie and I have started our hunt for you, tongue-tied. Look over your shoulder at every corner. We could be lurking anywhere. See you soon. So, JK and Charlie are now in the hunt. They're now hunting for us. And he's basically telling us we should be watching our backs, checking every corner. They could be anywhere. They could be right behind me right now. I don't know. Either way, we have Lucy here. Lucy's reaching out to us finally. Hey, tongue-tied. Hi, Lucy. I hope you don't think that I'm Dr. Crow. Anna just told me, hey, we were so worried about you, Lucy. I'm so glad you're okay. You should get some rest. Lucy, it is nice to see that Lucy's talking again. It seems like she's doing well. Seems like she's doing good. She's talking to us. And hopefully she doesn't think that we're Dr. Crow, because we're not. We're not Dr. Crow. And hopefully she doesn't think that we are. I'm glad, look, Lucy, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm sure it will take some time for me to process this, but what I just read in the group chat really worries me. I can't believe the others now think you are Dr. Crow's accomplice. After everyone, and especially you, have done so much for me. You need to talk to the others again, tongue-tied. You have to convince them that they're wrong. I know, but Shadow is a jerk. Shadow thinks I am Dr. Crow, and I don't know how to convince him otherwise. Do you think it's worth it? It is absolutely worth it. But how? I'm gonna ask, do you think it's worth it? Because I don't want to seem like I'm not willing by saying I don't know. Like I don't know if I should. I don't know if I really want to. I definitely want to. Who do you want to convince in your innocence? Ooh. So you have to at least try. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. It can't be Julius. Who do I want to convince of my innocence? Roxy burned, Valentine, Tim, and Julius. It can't be Julius. Julius is too much of a wild card. He thinks everybody's Dr. Crow. I'm surprised he hasn't said Lucy was the psycho. I'm kind of... I haven't really had enough conversations with Roxy, or Burned for that matter. So I'm kind of torn between Valentine and Tim. I think Tim might have more say in the matter, because it was Tim and Anna that helped find Lucy, and they did that using my advice, and they saved Lucy using my advice. They were doing what I was telling them to do, and I think Tim would be a good person to convince of my innocence, and Tim would be a good person to convince everybody else in their group as well. It's between Tim and Valentine, I feel. I feel like Tim is going to be the best option for me. Although I like Valentine, and Valentine, I think Valentine's on my side too. I don't think Valentine thinks that we're Dr. Crow. I think it'd be easy to convince Valentine and or Tim. But I'm going to go with Tim just for the fact that it was Tim that we helped find and save Lucy. If it was Valentine that we helped and find and save Lucy, then it would be Valentine, but it's Tim. We're going with Tim. Tim. Can we talk? Tim. Just for a minute. Yes. Okay, good. He's willing to talk. I'm a little perplexed right now. You're not really working for Dr. Crow, are you? Not at all. No, of course not. I don't understand any of this either. I know it looks like it, but I have nothing to do with him. Look, I don't want to make it sound like I don't want to make it seem like I'm angry or mad, but like I know it looks bad, but I have nothing to do with him, and I really don't. And I think that's a good response. Because it does look bad. But why ask your number on Clara's desk? Or why was your number on Clara's desk? Let's go through all the possible scenarios real quick. There are 3 people who have deliberately made you look suspicious. Shadow, Clara, and Dr. Crow. Scenario 1. Shadow is not who he claims to be. He works with Dr. Crow and wanted to gain your trust. He was waiting for the perfect moment to destroy our group. That's an interesting theory. I don't think it's scenario 1 though. I don't think it's scenario 1 at all. Shadow is on our side. Oh God, I haven't even thought of that yet. And the other 2 scenarios? I want to know what the other 2 scenarios are. But I don't think that scenario 1 is 1. I was just getting to that tongue-tied. Scenario number 2. Clara has worked with Dr. Crow all along. She faked her own kidnapping. Similar to scenario number 1, she also wanted to destroy the trust within the group completely, and especially Shadow's trust in you. But in this case, the much bigger question would be, what exactly does she get out of it? I don't think it's that either, but no, there's no way. Because I'm not really, like, I'm part of the group, but I'm not. Like, I'm so left field when it comes to everybody else in the group. Like, everybody in the group is kind of like centralized. They're all close to each other. I'm the only one that's like off and nowhere. Like, I'm nowhere near anybody. It's exactly what I've been wondering. It can't be. I saw with my own eyes she was tortured. Now I'm curious about the third. Yeah, I'm curious about the third scenario. Okay, let's move to scenario number 3. We've been wondering from the beginning what your role is in all this. What if Clara actually wrote down Dr. Crow's number, but then Dr. Crow found it and exchanged it with yours, so that Clara thinks that she told Shadow about the real Dr. Crow? That's a possibility, and I kind of alluded to that in, I think it was the previous video. Not exactly word for word, but I was saying that I thought that Dr. Crow was using my number as a form of hiding his own number, but I was saying that in a scenario of Dr. Crow using an app to disguise his number as my number. So Claire, when Claire was being contacted, she was seeing my number, so she thought Dr. Crow's number was my number, but it was being disguised as my number by Dr. Crow. But this is a similar scenario where Dr. Crow may have found his number and then switched it with my number. So I think scenario number 3 is the winner. How is Clara supposed to have Dr. Crow's number? Why would Dr. Crow do that? To be honest, all these theories totally overwhelm me. I mean, we know why Dr. Crow would do that. How is Clara supposed to have Dr. Crow's number? Well, Dr. Crow was reaching out to Clara. Let's ask that question. How is Clara supposed to have Dr. Crow's number? That's a gap in the theory. What I'm trying to say is, I'm convinced that you're one of the good ones, and something else must be behind it. See, I knew Tim was going to be the right person. I knew Tim was going to be the good person to convince of my innocence. And he's going to help me. He's going to help convince the others that I'm innocent as well. I know he is. By the way, there's a heated discussion about you in the group right now. Especially Julius is pretty much freaking out, but I'm sure they'll settle down soon. By the way, Zoe really stuck up for you. She's absolutely convinced that you had nothing to do with Clara's abduction. I knew Julius was not going to be a good person to pick to try to convince of my innocence. But I am curious. Maybe we'll do it through the next playthrough when we go through, because we'll do when we complete the playthrough for the male version, we'll go back through and play through as the female version, and if I'll try to remember, but in this scenario, we'll pick Julius and see what happens, see how it changes the story. What am I going to do now? But that doesn't really help me either. Tim, I really have nothing to do with Dr. Look, Tim, I really have nothing to do with Dr. Crow. And I appreciate Zoe sticking up for me so much. Tongue-tied, you have to understand that everyone is scared, especially after what happened to Lucy. I suggest you stay on the sidelines until things settle down a bit. If the situation changes, I'll get in touch. I'm afraid that's all I can do for you right now, Tongue-tied. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. I mean, it's good advice. It's good. I'm on your side, Tongue-tied. I appreciate it, Tim. Bros. Dr. Crow. We're spying in on Dr. Crow. Is this Dr. Crow an unknown? My plan seemed to be successful. The group turned its back on Tongue-tied. Why did you do that? That was never the intention, was it? We cannot take any unnecessary risks. The trust in Tongue-tied is finally broken, and now we can take care of the actual creature that is suffering from the pestilence. No one can escape from the great healing unpunished, and it seems too late for a healing. The disease in his body has already progressed too far. Who are you talking about, and what are you planning? It is not yet time to reveal the identity. But I can tell you, he will soon have to face his demons. He will be held accountable for his deeds and will meet his eternal end. You want to kill someone? This is never agreed upon. The decision is not mine to make. I don't understand. It is not us who will decide his fate. We will leave it to the judgment of the jury. The jury? Trust me, you don't need to feel remorse for your actions. But what about Lucy? She could have died. Not every disease is curable, and without a healing, the inevitable awaits the patient. No, that's gone too far. They're meant to be healed. They're supposed to show reason, but not to die. Do you wait until the hall collapses on you until you remove the rotten timber? No, you remove it and replace it with wood that is not affected by rot. That is, then it's strong again and free from disease. And do not forget you came to me for help, and now you doubt my methods? I just don't want anyone to die. You recognized their illness well before it broke out, and I can save them all because I am the healing. So who is unknown? Unknown, it's not J.K. Knight. J.K. Knight is not unknown. It doesn't make sense. And Unknown's not talking the same way that J.K. Knight talks. J.K. Knight is master this, master that. So Unknown is somebody else. Unknown could be somebody in our group. I don't think it's Shadow. I don't think it's Clara. It's got to be somebody in our group. Interesting. It's Shadow. What the hell are you talking about? Shadow. I was gonna wait till the next video to talk to you, Shadow, but I need to I need to talk to you. Tongue-tied, I'm so sorry. I fell for Dr. Crow's tricks and wrongfully suspected you. This chat between Dr. Crow and the unknown person, I first thought this was just a fake from you to make you look less suspicious, but you were texting in another chat at the same time. I should have trusted you. You damn right you should have trusted me, Shadow. What the hell's wrong with you? Glad you finally get it too. I would never betray you. If I were you, I would have fallen for it too. I wouldn't. In no way would I have. Absolutely not. Absolutely not would I have fallen for it. Look, I would never betray you. I would never betray the group. I know that now. Once again, I'm so sorry. You know what, Shadow? You need to do something to make it up to me. I don't know what you can do, but you need to do something to make it up to me. Now the question is, those strange messages Clara got just before she was kidnapped, how can it be that these were sent from your number? It's a good question. I have theories, but nobody wants to listen to them. Maybe the number was manipulated. Maybe. Any guess? Look, I think the number was manipulated. It's not possible. It is possible. But wait. Shortly after Clara was kidnapped, your number was found on the desk. The one Clara supposedly wrote down. What if Dr. Crow swapped out the number? Right. Isn't that what manipulated means? He manipulated the numbers? He swapped the numbers. That's manipulation. Do you know what I mean? Of course I know. Clara wrote down the correct number. Whose it was, we don't know. Maybe it was J.K. Knight's. Maybe it was Dr. Crow's number. I don't think it was either one. I think it was the unknown's number. It could have been J.K.'s, but that doesn't make any sense because we're currently talking to J.K. I don't know, but we're currently talking to Dr. Crow. It could have been Dr. Crow's. I think it's whoever unknown is. I think the original number belonged to whoever unknown is in our group. I think that's who it is. But I'm going to say it could be Dr. Crow's number. It's quite possible. In any case, Clara's kidnapper must have found this note and replaced it with one that had your number on it. That would also explain why you don't know Clara. The only question is, what's the point of all this? Why would Dr. Crow be leaving your number? Right, why am I involved? After all, he could hardly know that I would find it. It could just as easily have been found by the police. Dr. Crow never leaves anything to chance. Maybe that's the real plan. We should keep following his lead. Look, we know one thing. Dr. Crow doesn't leave anything to chance. He's very calculated. He does things for a reason, and there's a purpose for each and every one of them. Unfortunately, I have the same impression. But don't worry, we'll find out about that too once I've rescued Clara. But now I'll inform the group first, then the others need to know you're innocent. You're damn right they need to. Shadow. Strangers. New messages received. And this is live, so it's so it looks like we're gonna be in spy mode. So we will spy into the strangers in the next video. Hope you guys are enjoying the healing, and if you are, hit that like button on your way out. Leave me a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the Tethered. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.